Let's talk about judgment. Others, but I'm gonna talk about judging yourself. There's so much judgment going on. I mean, everywhere, everybody has opinions about everything, and the sad part is we always listen to everything that we hear from other people. You know why? Because we people pleasers. We are herd animals that we need to be together, otherwise, we feel, well, dead. So, what we're gonna talk about today, I'm going to tell you three things that you need to do in order, well, to judge yourself less. And first of all, where this all judgment comes from? It's probably coming, well, because that's how you're being grew up, right? Like they tell you that you're not doing good enough. You're eating wrong way. Probably you need to use a fork. You're probably not wearing those shorts because they're way too short for you to go to school. You probably should not be singing because that voice of yours is just bad news. So when you grow up in an environment that you're constantly being reminded how inadequate you are, and your talents are really not talents, and well, all the things that you do is pretty much just not good enough, and probably that happened because you had someone in your environment that were not really happy with themselves, so they maybe took some things on you. And don't get me wrong, a lot of things that adults shall teach children, it's a good thing, like tie your shoes and this is how you can eat, and all of this. But I'm talking about this very toxic behavior of like constantly gaslighting you and telling you how you're not good enough. I'm talking about that criticism. So here's what happened. When you grew up in an environment when you constantly heard other people criticizing others, judging others, you will take this like a normal thing of communication. You're like, I don't know, all my neighbors were always gossiping about everybody else. We gossip here too. Because that's the way to relate. So when you judge others, when you criticize them, it's like you're showing that you're important, like you're giving your opinion and you feel like, yeah, I matter because I got the chance to voice that out what I think. Now, what happens is when you're doing the same thing to yourself, and that's damaging. Because if you grow up in an environment where judging and just not really uplifting anyone, it's a normal, you're gonna do exactly the same thing to yourself. And I know you probably heard that, well, that little voice inside of your head, you should shut them up and give them a voice, give them a name, and listening to all of this. That's true, yes. And so when you realize that a lot of things, and here's the first thing, a lot of things that we think is not even true. Yes, it's not even true. A lot of thoughts, we just keep on doing the same thing over and over. We're remembering the same things. Most of the time, out of fear of rejection, well, because we need to be safe and we need to belong to the group, we're going to continuously thinking about it. But this is really true? Is it? There's so much fear about really nothing. So just ask yourself, well, is it matter in 5 years? Maybe that thing that I'm fearful about now and I'm criticizing myself about, like let's say I think I'm wearing an ugly dress. Let's think about it. Well, how is that serving you? Well, maybe serve you because you think that then if you wear a nice dress, people will look at you better and they will accept you into the group, so then hence you will not die. So it serves you. But then ask yourself, is it really true? Is it really true that your dress will determine your survival? There are some situations, yes, but you know what I mean. Just purely, does that really matter in 5 years what dress you're wearing today? Probably not. Well, unless it's Oscars, right? Then yeah, you will. But is it really just an opinion of others? Ask yourself, why is it you're deciding one way or the other? That's the second thing. What's your reasoning behind it? Like, you don't like this dress because somebody else told you not to? Or you actually like this dress, but you're afraid that you will not please those other people, so you're gonna wear whatever they tell you to because, well, then you're not gonna be excluded, and you know what I mean. Yeah, what's the reasoning behind that? What is the reasoning behind that? And then always listen to yourself, because if you will not listen to yourself, you will become resentful towards yourself. And that's the number one thing that I think we give ourselves neglect, is when we abandon ourselves. Very bad thing is when we're being abandoned by the people, emotionally or physically or any other way. But when you abandon yourself, that's like the worst. So when you're judging yourself and you're giving way too harsh of a criticism, you need to ask yourself, is it really true? Should I need to judge myself so harshly? And if you grew up in an environment when you've been harshly judged all the time, no matter what you do, and you are never good enough, no matter how well you performed, no matter what you said, no matter how good your grades were, you will continuously judge yourself. And the sad part about that is, it's like running for the horizon. You will never reach it. That horizon will be always there. So it's time to stop. You really start to appreciate for whatever you're doing and for whoever you are. And so that's the third thing is, well, if probably whatever you think is not true, do you seriously think that you don't have opinion, the right for your opinion, for your, free speech and all? You should have your opinion and you should do whatever you feel like it. If that makes you feel happy, disclaimer, don't hurt other people, okay? But what comes to healthy relationship with yourself, not abandoning your feelings, not abandoning your needs, and number one, don't abandon yourself just to please others. You will help yourself so much with your self-esteem. Then you will not be so resentful towards yourself too. Because when you abandon yourself, the loneliness just gets worse. It's bad when other people leave you, but there's nothing worse when you leave you too. So yeah, think about it. How much of judging and criticizing do you do? How many times do you agree with other people's opinion, even though you know you are right? Ask yourself that question. And so leave me a comment below and tell me, do you listen to other people's opinion more than your own? How much do you judge yourself? Do you criticize yourself? And while you're doing that, ask yourself, where is that criticizing came from? And if it's really worth it. So, my name is Lolita Godin. I'm a stress management expert and 4 times best-selling Amazon author. And if you want one-on-one consultation, please go to my website, beamazingyou.com, and see you there.